Get ready for the biggest movie news of the week. We are kicking things off with the massive Star Wars. The Mandalorian and Grogu. Pedro Pascal, Sigourney Weaver, and Jeremy Allen White are bringing the saga to a fever pitch with the final trailer unveiled at CinemaCon. Find out everything you need to know about this epic adventure as it hits theaters on May 20, 2026. This is the must-see event of the season. Ready for a terrifying ride. And finally, we're looking at some wild leaks. We found reportedly leaked footage from an early production of the Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic remake, featuring bizarre placeholder characters. We uncover what we can about the voiced protagonist and the strange visuals. Don't miss this deep dive, and join the conversation right now in the comic book forum. A diverse cinematic landscape awaits audiences this week, featuring a compelling mix of major blockbusters, acclaimed auteur cinema, intense horror, historical dramas, and animated science fiction across France and beyond. The schedule for cinema releases starting Wednesday, May 20, 2026, offers a wide variety of options for moviegoers in Paris and the Île-de-France region. Among the most highly anticipated titles is Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu, which expands the saga with appearances from Pedro Pascal, Sigourney Weaver, and Jeremy Allen White. Meanwhile, Pedro Almodóvar returns with his Autofiction, officially competing at the 2026 Cannes Film Festival. The genre offerings are equally robust. For horror fans, Passenger arrives, a horror-driven tale about a couple tormented by a demonic presence, starring Jacob Scipio, Lou Lobel, and Melissa Leo. Historical and dramatic features include Les Gautus's De Hitler by Silvio Soldini, revisiting the story of women tasked with tasting Hitler's meals, and Maximilian Kolb, A Life Given, which chronicles the final days of a Polish priest in the Auschwitz hunger bunker. Comedy and drama are also featured prominently. Mara Hermosillo's debut feature, Vanilla, a Mexican dramedy exploring a girl raised in an all-female household, joins the lineup. Other notable releases include Vanilla, a Mexican dramatic comedy, and Pour le Plaisir, a comedy about female pleasure. In the science fiction and animated categories, audiences can look forward to All You Need Is Kill, a sci-fi animated film centered around a time loop, and Junk World, a stop-motion prequel to Junkhead, plunging viewers into an underground world of robots and cyborgs. Other significant releases this week include El Abandon, a drama revisiting the final 11 days of Samuel Patey, opening on May 13, 2026. Action and nostalgia enthusiasts can relive the magic with the return of Top Gun and Top Gun: Maverick, scheduled from May 13 to 19, 2026. Horror and intense dramas continue with Obsession, a chilling tale about a wish spiraling out of control, and 28 years later, The Temple of the Dead, which arrives on VOD for purchase on May 14, 2026, followed by rental on May 20. Further cinematic highlights include Die My Love, starring Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson, exploring themes of relationship strain and isolation. The week also features the documentary Iron Maiden, The Burning Ambition, marking the band's 50-year career, and Alive Under a Spell, Marie Raymond's debut feature exploring a toxic relationship. Additionally, the slate includes exciting new psychological thrillers like Me Amor, starring Pom Klementif, and the action-packed Mortal Kombat II, featuring Karl Urban. Family entertainment is covered by Elfie and the Super Elfkins, an animated adventure for young audiences. This varied lineup provides ample opportunity for cinema enthusiasts to plan their viewing experience, with genre-specific sorting available to help audiences discover the perfect film for their mood. Star Wars fans are constantly engaged in creating headcanons, exploring the vastness of the franchise's characters and narrative complexities, often fueled by the series' frequent plot twists and retcons. While some theories, such as Jar Jar being a Sith Lord, remain firmly outside canon, several other plausible, though unconfirmed, possibilities are being discussed that possess a compelling logic. One potential theory centers on Leia's connection to her mother, Padme. When Luke reveals they are siblings, Leia's vague memories of her mother's beauty and sadness align with Padme's fate just before her death in episode III. A more plausible headcanon suggests Leia sensed these aspects of Padme through the Force, a concept strengthened by the growing confirmation of Leia's Force abilities in the series. Another intriguing possibility relates to Anakin Skywalker's final moments. When Darth Vader confronts Palpatine regarding Padme's fate, Vader argues she was alive, stating, "I felt it." While this could imply Anakin sensing Padme's survival on Mustafar, a more compelling theory posits that Anakin was sensing the life of Luke and Leia, given their deep connection to Padme, which would explain Vader's lingering emotional state. Anakin's descent into the dark side was heavily influenced by recurring nightmares of Padme dying in childbirth, compounded by his earlier loss of his mother, Shmi. A significant headcanon suggests that Palpatine was actively planting these devastating visions in Anakin's mind, providing a clear motive for his manipulation. In a more controversial but believable scenario, speculation exists that Satine Kryze's supposed nephew, Corky Kryze, is actually the love child of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Satine. This theory is supported by the revelation in the Clone Wars that Obi-Wan was willing to leave the Jedi Order for Satine, making a romantic entanglement plausible. Finally, one of the most debated headcanons concerns Padme's death. Given her status as a leader and the recent birth of twins, it seems unlikely she would have lost the will to live. Therefore, a popular theory suggests that Palpatine kept Vader alive by draining Padme's life force. This hypothesis provides a logical explanation for both Padme's tragic end and Anakin's survival despite severe injuries, suggesting Palpatine utilized her life essence to sustain him. Pedro Pascal made a surprise appearance at Disneyland's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge on Saturday, delighting fans with an unexpected encounter. The actor arrived in full Mandalorian armor and helmet, drawing immediate attention from guests queuing for the Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run ride. As visitors entered the attraction, Pascal removed his helmet, revealing his face to enthusiastic cheers and gasps. He took time to interact with the crowd, posing for photos and sharing humor, quipping that fans now had to die because they had seen his face, a playful nod to the Mandalorian tradition of anonymity. This surprise event coincided with promotional activities for the upcoming film, Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu, scheduled for release on May 22. Pascal was joined by co-star Sigourney Weaver, director Jon Favreau, and Lucasfilm president Dave Filoni, who attended the new nighttime show, The Curious Child, as part of the film's promotion. The day also featured themed food and drink options, along with new souvenir novelties available at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, building excitement for the film's debut and the ongoing Star Wars saga. A reportedly leaked cinematic from an early stage of development for the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake has surfaced, revealing placeholder characters and raising questions about the project's current status. The footage shows a purple-faced robo-person and a red-faced robo-person sliding through a corridor, with one character referencing the precariousness of their bare bottoms in space. The scene, which appears to be from an early iteration, features placeholder characters, including a naked blue placeholder person with a red blaster. The footage was reportedly found in the portfolio of an animator who previously worked at ISPR, the original developer of the game, before Saber Interactive took over the remake project. While the visual aspects of the cutscene are noted for their placeholder nature, the most significant point of discussion is the voice acting. The dialogue for the protagonists, Karth Anasi and Trask Ulgo, appears to be read by the same actor, suggesting this is not representative of the final voice cast. The development history of the remake has been turbulent. In 2022, Bloomberg blogger Jason Schreier reported that Asper had paused development and dismissed key creative staff following an internal demo that reportedly did not impress Lucasfilm and Sony executives. Since then, the project has been managed by Saber Interactive, with confirmation from boss Matthew Karch in 2024 and Chief Creative Officer Tim Willits in March 2025 that the remake is still active. Reports also indicated that Hellraiser revival studio Mad Head Games was leading development as of December 2025. Speculation surrounding the project's future remains high. Fans are hoping for any future content, even hidden extras featuring the placeholder characters. The leaked footage underscores the ongoing, complex journey of the Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic remake.